This time on Woody's Garage. What is that god-awful thing in the back of your truck?
So, we were doing leaves today. Almost finished the yard. Looks spectacular. And on my way back from the dump, dropping off the leaves, which you have to do. It's a pain in the ass. I found this. Beautiful, isn't it? It's a Zodiac inflatable boat. And, when I was looking at it, I didn't see anything wrong, but it's funny, as soon as I open the back, I see that the bottom's torn. But that might be able to be fixed, so let's drag it out and take a look. When I drove by it, first I thought it was just a big tarp. And I was thinking like, oh good, yeah, I could use a big tarp. And it's like, hey, no, it's a boat. So, about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I got a Carib 8-footer that I also got for nothing, and I ended up selling it for $100. Like, what the hell is this thing? The dildo? I don't know. But considering that part is split open, there's still chambers that'll fill with air. However, I don't have the right pump to fill this up, but maybe I can use a compressor. Just get it into shape. It's funny, I mean, it looks like a bunch of trash bags, but you fill it up with air and you get the dirt off of it, and it looks like a boat in about 2 seconds. So, I found a distraction. I don't have to rake leaves. I can screw around with this instead. So what I'm looking at here is actually, not the flotation. This is the floor. So that's not as crucial. Let's see if we can get some air in this thing. Oh, starting to take some air. Just got the compressor line coming out here. And I'm leaking a lot. Got my fingers over the hole there. You kind of push down that green thing there, and it opens a valve and you shoot air in there, but it's, what I'm doing is completely inefficient. But let's see if we can make it at least take form. I'll keep giving the compressor a break. Well, with the method I'm using, I'm blowing it in and it's blowing out just about as fast because you can't seal it up. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an adapter to be able to hitch it up to a compressor, but the pumps that they use to pump these things up are extremely efficient, and they're pretty hard to pump too, but they get a lot of air in really quick. And the more I've looked at this boat, the more substantial I think it is. It's only the bottom that's has a split there along the seam, can be glued, and it probably needs a wooden deck, just plywood to sit in there. We'll update. All right, well, we're back at working on the Troy belt after munching up all the leaves with the lawnmowers. We got the belt in. You can see it right here. The belt fit over the blade without any trouble at all. Didn't have to take it off. I'm putting it over the pulley and just pulling it out this side. And it looks like it's way too big, doesn't it? Yeah. Yep, that's the wrong pulley. Got it right off the Troy belt website too. The part number. It's wrong. Yeah, they shipped me even the wrong part number. So it's always hard to know, what the right belt is when you don't have the old one. So I requested a refund. I'm gonna see if I got anything in my stash. It's about 5 inches shorter, wouldn't you say, than this one. And the craziest thing about this is this measures 35 inches and it says 22. So I found a belt that'll work. That's in great shape, huh? So I got this electric start off that old crappy gray Craftsman snowblower with a 5 horsepower on it, and the Bendix is kind of gets hung up. Now usually these things, you just put a little bit of lube on them and they're good as new. This one is not always snapping back, and I've been drenching it for a couple of days. So there are 3 screws back here. I'm going to take them off, pull it apart. I've never taken one of these apart before. And we'll see. We got to get this, I think, just cleaner than it is. Because it just, you know, it kind of wants to snap back, but it doesn't. That's when it's supposed to engage, when it's like that, and then it's supposed to free itself and come out like this so that it's not right up against the flywheel. Alright, we just popped this out. The whole unit came out. I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to get it back in there with the brushes. I kind of didn't expect it. It just kind of popped right out. I mean, what I was hoping to do was just remove this clip here. If you can see that. There's a C-clip in there. But, I don't know. Okay, we popped that C-clip off. Moved it over here on the workmate. Now this whole shaft should come out. Just by pulling it this way. Yeah, we just yoinked it out. Gotta remember we got a washer on this end. You can see that shaft is definitely rusty and stuff. Rest of this stuff will probably just fall right out, I assume, and we'll clean that up. And then it's probably just reassemble. The thing I'm most worried about is getting it by the bushings again. I'm not quite sure I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's pretty clean. I mean, this moves really smoothly, but there are some like pits on it and stuff like that. So, you know, if it works now, it'll probably corrode up kind of faster unless it's taken care of. We got those things cleaned up. I'm still wondering about how I'm going to get this thing back in there. I'm going to clean up the contacts here before I put it back together. But if you look in here, you can see those magnets. Just, you know, you're not going to be able to just push the thing in there. So I'm wondering if this plastic comes out and that back comes off. Got to get out that last screw is kind of threaded in there more than the other 2 were. And I don't know, you got wires going in there too, so I'm not quite sure what to expect with this. There's probably some kind of special tool that they use to put these back in, and I fucked up, so. Okay, we got one side kind of loosened here. Little chicken about pulling this all the way out, never getting it back together. But I suppose, you know, instead of making a YouTube video, I probably should have watched one on how to do this. Yeah, where's the adventure in that, right? Okay, back's popped off. I got the wire going down through the workmate here so I can kind of pinch it off, which is kind of nice, kind of holds it in place. And it looks like, yes, indeed, I'll be able to work that the unit back through. So we'll put it together after I clean up the contacts. Okay, so here's my idea. You got to get all these guys lined up so they kind of go into their channel. You can see that guy's just fighting me there. And then I'm going to make a ring of cardboard to put in there, and it will kind of be able to expand like this. And then I can pop it through. Yeah, this has gotten to be a real pain in the butt. So I cut some really thin strips of cardboard and I just taped them off to hold the springs back. See, I've got all 3 except for that last one, just to show you the difference. And hopefully that'll be enough to slip that thing in. Alright, so this is what we got. I took a piece of plastic from a yogurt cup and I cut it so it kind of worked like a sleeve. And I also disconnected the negative, realizing that these weren't hardwired on. Just came off the terminal over here. And now we're going to see if we can... This might be thin enough that the... is this the armature? What do they call this? Could slide in there. So let's hope for that before I pull the rest of my hair out. Yeah, the hole's not big enough. So I need a way to stretch it out a little bit. And I was thinking I could use like Scotch tape to make this thing bigger. And that's what we're going to do. Jesus, did I get it through finally? This piece of yogurt cup all taped up. I'll get my hopes up until I have it out. So let me do that. I think I got it. Jesus. Sorry I couldn't show it detailed, but I swear I've been working on this a long time. It was too intricate. So this was basically the sleeve. And it was best if this came to a point kind of and would stick through. And then you push it through and you can pull this off and the brushes will then touch the armature, I guess it is. Let me see if I can screw it back together without it pulling out before we declare success here. Yeah, we got it back together. Took a couple of times to make sure that everything looked like it lined up right. The craziest thing about this, I mean, if I had a first look at it, I would say like, this gear's on upside down. You just figure it kind of went the other way. But this is the way it was on. I definitely remember that. This flat part being up top there. And all it does is spin all the way up. So the thing it would do is it goes this way once the electricity hits. Now, hopefully those brushes are okay when I plug it in. The thing doesn't start on fire or something. So that's next. Yeah, baby, it's working. I got stuck there once. Son of a bitch. Okay, the new pinion gear came in for the Craftsman lawnmower. As you can see, hey, they look the same. What do you know? You can also see the difference. Quite a difference, tooth-wise. So let's put it on. Well, I was also going to say, you know, when you get these things for free, you really don't know what you're getting. I was just using it as a push mower yesterday with the leaves, and all of a sudden I heard a tut 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 tut. I shut it down. The blade was loose on it. Imagine if that came off. So I just got to slide the new one on. Get over that key. Like that. And then put the C-clip on there. Hopefully I didn't lose. That's right here. Okay, let me snap that down with some pliers. I also want to check out these two wheels to make sure they are exactly the same. Like this height is the same as this. They're gonna go flying. I might put the calipers on them. You know, I'm still wondering, like, why this wheel popped off while I was using it. Was it because that gear was so worn out? It was pushing it, and it made this grab the nut and turned it off. Okay, I'm trying to find out with these wheels by using my plastic caliper. Stick it in the hole, find out the depth. Okay. Kind of screwed it up. Let's try again this way. Yeah, just about the same. Okay, kind of wondering if this plastic part is the same. Yeah. Just trying to figure out the cause of why the wheel came off. So let's put the wheel back on. The new wheel. Wheel is on. Now another thing that I noticed about this, see how worn out that is? I think the revolutions are too high. I don't have a tachometer or any kind of way to figure out what the RPMs are supposed to be, but I think it's going a little too fast because you pull that drive in and those wheels just start to spin, and that's why they wear out like that. I don't think that's very good, so I'm going to try to lower the RPMs on it. But after I put a little Loctite on that blade. A little mushroom. Anyway, so to loosen the blade, you got to get a piece of wood wedged in there. So it was plenty tight from when I tightened it yesterday, but I still want to put some Loctite on the threads. I gotta say, that blade is pretty worn too, pretty dull as well. That goes up, that goes down. And sometimes you forget. Yeah, I might sharpen it up a little before I put it back up. And get the rust off of this too. So now I know what he was pecking at, the woodpecker there. He's trying to make the hole bigger so he can get in there. Yeah, I might just help him out with that. But I had no idea. Isn't that amazing? It's all set, sharpened. A little bit of ancient bottle of Loctite. I think before they had different values, different colors and stuff. Unscrewed this panel here. If I remember right, the way you said these automatic jobs, this is an automatic choke too. That you bend this thing here, you know, a little that way lessens the spring tension, this way tightens it. And I think if you tighten it, the RPMs go up. I'm going to start it and find out. Yeah, that's all set.